Well, by golly gee, Denise, Jill, Carla, Mindy, Katie, you all guessed it right. Both movies I watched last week. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure and Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. Both are great. Watch the third one. I thought it was good. They made it new. They made it refreshing, 20-some years later. However many years, 27 years, 26 years. I don't know how many years, but I know it was in the 20s. And it felt fresh, and it was enjoyable. And I say, hey, if you have a little time, go ahead and watch Bill and Ted. Number 3. So here we go. You've got this guy, and you loved all the movies he was in. Then he lost his money, got a little crazy. But you watch this movie because this guy cares so much about an item, a very special item to our U.S. history. Very special. He cares so much about it that he's going to steal it because he knows these other guys want to steal it. And he is so good at puzzles that he figures out how to steal it. And he steals it, but he's trying to find this other thing. But these other guys that want to steal it find him, and they say, hey, we're going to do all these things to you, but you need to help us find this stuff we're looking for, but we can't find it on our own because we're not smart like you are. But he's really smart, but he has to help them because if he doesn't help them, bad things are going to happen to him. So they're helping each other, and then they find these things, and then this wood is old, and they fall, and they don't know what's happening, and for whatever reason, everything still lights up, even though it shouldn't light up because it's so old, but they hit it, boom, fire comes. Why? You have no idea. It shouldn't be able to happen that way. But they're going, and then they find this thing, and they say, oh, it's not here. It's not here. So I don't know what you're going to do. And then they say, the other guys, the bad guys are like, well, if you're not going to help us, and we're just going to leave you here. And they say, oh, well, we'll give you the clue. It's over here. And so let us go in this elevator thing. And they still leave them. The bad guys still leave them there. And you think, oh, great, they're stuck there forever. But they tricked them. They tricked the bad guys. Then they find this button, and they push this button, and it all opens up. And you say, oh, they found all these things. And then, poof, fire goes all the way down, lights up even more, and they found anything you could ever imagine. But they're in trouble for stealing this thing. So they really only got a real tiny cut of what happened. And they turned the bad guys in so that they wouldn't have to go to prison. But that little tiny cut was still enough to get a Ferrari that the guy didn't know how to drive. 5 out of 5. This next movie, real convoluted to explain without really explaining. So you've got these couple groups of people, and all of their stories are intersecting, but you don't know they're intersecting until the end. And they're all having really bad days, except for maybe these other two people, because at first you think their day is probably okay, but then in the end you find out it's not a good day. Anyway, I digress. So you have these groups of people. These two guys are trying to find these other guys that kind of screwed a guy, and they end up being real intimidating, and boom, they shoot a guy, and then they see this other guy, and they shoot him, and then they take this other dude, and then all of a sudden, poof, they shoot him in the car, and it's just messy all over. So then they have to go to another guy's house who's upset because his wife's going to come home from work and be mad that they have a dead guy in the garage. So then they have to call this other guy to come help them get rid of this dead guy before the wife comes home because that guy doesn't want to get a divorce. And then you find out later there's this other guy who's trying to run from things, but his girlfriend forgot this really important watch, so he went back to his place to get the watch, and then he sees this other guy, and boom, he shoots that guy with that guy's gun that he left while he was going to the bathroom, and you're like, why would you leave it outside the bathroom if you're there to kill a guy that you hope comes home? That was stupid. He probably deserved what he got because he didn't think that one through. Anyway, so he gets his watch, and while he's going, he sees this other guy that everybody's trying to, do dirty deeds for. And that guy's mad at him because he won a boxing match but ended up hurting a guy at that. So he's mad at that guy. So that guy is trying to get him. So he hits that guy with a car, but then he ends up getting hit by another car. And then that guy's kind of limping along, and they end up fighting in this pawn shop type thing. And then those guys end up tying them to chairs, and then really creepy stuff is happening, but they're able to get out of that. So he's able to get back to his girlfriend, and she's like, well, where'd you get this motorcycle? And he says, it's not a motorcycle, it's a chopper. And she just keeps calling it a motorcycle, and he's upset because it's a chopper. So you think, okay, well, his day is finally better. And then you've got these other people. Those people are trying to rob a restaurant. And you're like, what are you doing? But when they rob the restaurant at the end of the movie, they interact with these other dudes that shot the people earlier that we were talking about. So those people kind of outsmart them, but they still steal a bunch of wallets, but they just don't get the one guy's wallet, and they don't get the special briefcase with whatever's glowing inside it. Then this other guy that's his partner, you see him in the movie. He takes this girl out who's married to this other guy, and they win a dance competition, and they end up, going back to her place. He's trying to be good because it's his boss's wife, and he doesn't want to cause problems at work, So he's trying to be good and giving himself a pep talk in the bathroom, but she ODs. So then he's got to take her to this place, and then boom, she's good. I wish it was that easy. And you're just like, what is happening? But all this is going, and it's going like this, and it's intertwined, and it's interweaved. And at the end, you think to yourself, that's a pretty good movie. Pretty good movie. 5 out of 5. Leave your guesses in the comments. Sorry I posted this a day late, but I had to work Tuesday. I know, weird. Doesn't normally happen, but it's been happening lately, but I'm not going to complain. Although, I'm probably complaining. I look forward to your guesses. See you next time.